everyone, I'm Natalia, beginner's founder of MilkHoneyAdvice, and I'm here with Maurice Arcadier, who I interviewed last year, who is running for judge, and I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to interview you today.
No, thank you for interviewing me. Appreciate it.
Well, my viewers have been talking to me, some of them, and they wanted to know, how have you been, for starters?
Oh, we're doing very well. Family and I, we're all, when you campaign, it's a family effort, so we're all very into it. Fortunately, we've been blessed and we're very healthy and with a lot of energy to see this through. Okay,
and how is your family helping you in this campaign? How have they been involved in this whole experience?
Everybody has different roles. The grandmother is visiting from Ukraine, and so she's staying with us, and she's able to take care of Catherine, who's 7, and Caitlin, who's 3. And that's a lot of help. That gives us a lot of flexibility to go to more of the adult events or campaigning events where children, it's either too late or it's just not children. Some events are not children friendly, and it's great that we have a live-in babysitter, which is Grandma.
Well, that's nice.
That helps. So that's her role, but she also helps with sometimes putting stamps on envelopes and things of that nature. The children, when they accompany us to events, they become great card dispensers. They go to events and pass out one of these. Hopefully some of your viewers have seen these. And of course, my wife and I, we do everything together, or almost everything together that we can. We put up signs ourselves, we go to all the campaign events, and she's been as supportive as a wife can be.
That's great. That's nice. Yeah, I actually saw you last Saturday, and I saw your daughter wearing that, what was it, like a tutu-looking...
Right.
It was so cute. It was so cute how she's just... but that's a good way to advertise with the...
Sure.
And have her to like the dress as well.
And there are 2 little princesses that love dressing up, and one of the things that we've done is we've attached the campaign shirts to their skirts and made like a little outfit for them. They really enjoy that.
Well, that's beautiful. I like that. When I saw her, I was like, oh, this is so cute. As a personal experience to yourself, this campaign, how has it been since I interviewed you? What have you been up to? What have you... It's been crazy?
It has, and it's more than a full-time job, even though I still have to maintain my duties at the law firm as managing partner. Campaigning, there's always an event, Monday through Friday, some kind of chamber event, either lunch or evening. There's a lot of forums for candidates where we're constantly invited. There's always a festival. On the weekends, there's Friday fests in different areas of Brevard. There's Thursday fests in Sanford. You know, this is actually a pretty big circuit. We have 2 counties, Brevard and Seminole, so we have to campaign in both counties. And then the real things that are involved in a campaign is actually going door to door, which has been taking a lot of our time. And it's hard to make a dent because in a day maybe we can do 200 houses. So we try to devote as many days as possible to actually meet the voters, the people that are going to go out and vote.
Okay. You had told me, I believe, that you were looking for volunteers, and now that you say door to door and all that stuff, I'm wondering how many volunteers and when and what's the dates for these
volunteers? As many as possible. We would take 10,000 volunteers if we would have that many. A campaign is never, we'll never say no to a volunteer. There's so many things that need to be done. Particularly now that they're going to be opening up early voting. Right. So ideally you want volunteers to be at the early voting precincts and it's actually now open for 10 days. And then on the day of the election on the precincts, there's approximately 220 precincts in both counties. So anytime you can get volunteers to go out to these precincts and just do sign waving or anything of that nature is really helpful.
What's the location? There's specific locations the volunteers can go to?
Well, they can come here and meet me, and we give them a T-shirt and invite them into the campaign. And then certainly each precinct has a location where the supervisor of elections has designated an area, either in churches or in some kind of civic centers where the election actually takes place.
And the hours are flexible?
It's flexible. Obviously, the more, the better, but we'll work with any volunteer schedule.
I know lots of people who they'll do 1 hour, 2 hours, maybe
right.
every day, but but if it's flexible to that type of...
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We'll always be able to find something for somebody to do at any point in time, whether it's 3 a.m. in the morning or 4 p.m. in the afternoon. There is always something to do in their campaign. We have a very large circuit which is made up of 1.2 million people. So trying to reach out to as many people as possible is a task. It's a daunting task, and you need to try to get as much support as possible.
My main concern, like my main thing that I've been thinking about, if you actually become judge, what have you been looking into in improving or doing changes, or what have you been looking into?
You know, judges cannot change the law. We have to follow it. That's up to the legislature. What a judge can do is run an efficient courtroom in the courtroom that they've been assigned to. And that's one of the biggest issues facing our court systems right now. There's been a depletion of funds for that, and when I first started practicing law, the average judge caseload was about 700 to 800 cases per year. Right now, it's averaging around north of 2,000. So there's a lot of lag time, and I believe justice delayed is justice denied. But nonetheless, the process is now taking more time than ever before, and judges need to come up with creative ways to move the processes along. And that's something certainly I would look into, including instituting something called motion calendar. Miami-Dade faced the same problem that Brevard faces, but about 10 years ago when their courthouses were overfilled. So they instituted something motion calendar, 2 or 3 minute hearings. A lot of hearings, I would say. Certainly more than half, probably north of 80% of the cases can be addressed in 2 or 3 minutes. It's just a simple argument or disagreement between two attorneys that has an impasse, and it requires immediate judge attention. Right now in Brevard County, a lot of times to get one of these types of motions in front of a judge takes me 5 months, when a simple ruling could have been done in 2 or 3 minutes. And you can institute motion calendar where attorneys just come in 1 day a week in the morning, and you hear all these 2, 3, 4 minute hearings and move your cases along. I think that would be very helpful, and very few judges have instituted that.
Oh, I see. Okay, well that's a good thing to be thinking about. So you have been thinking what you will be doing if you do feel that need.
Correct, and it's something that as an attorney practicing law for 17 years, I've been able to see certain things that need improvement in our system.
Okay. The other thing is, it's a unique question, but I like asking this question to some people. As a child, when you were little, what did you think of? Did you think of yourself becoming a lawyer, a judge, or did you see something else? As a child, did the experiences as a child build you as the person you are right now, type of thing?
Well, certainly. We're a factor of many things, and one of our things is the experiences that we've had in life. And certainly as a child growing up, I saw myself more as the academic, even though I would have loved to have been a professional athlete. You know, people are blessed with different talents, and mine has been more the listener, the thinker, person that can write well and make good judgments in the right situations and be fair to everybody. That's also very important, regardless of age, gender, race, ethnic background, religion, or disability. And that's something that throughout my career I've been working and protecting the rights of everybody.
And at what age did you decide that you wanted to do law school?
Well, in college, some people are born with their careers. I decided I got my undergraduate in economics, and then I decided to go to law school. I liked the idea of becoming a judge in the future. I went to law school with this in mind, that after practicing a certain number of years and acquiring certain life experiences, and when I felt ready to become a judge, which is the stage I'm in now, is something that I was looking forward to when I applied to law school. And that was the motivating reason why I went to law school, to reach this point now.
Oh wow, so it's a work in process.
Oh, definitely.
The whole experience now that you're here. How does it feel to be here then?
It feels good. I don't like the politics behind the judiciary elections. It's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, I prefer the people appointing their judges rather than a political party appointing a judge, so the election system is necessary. But by the same token, during the election system, you have a lot of the dirty politics that come into place as well.
Yeah. So the other thing I had in my mind that I was going to ask you was, who do you think, like, who are you thankful for who you can become today?
Oh, my mother, for sure. She raised me with very strong values, and those values are the ones that I carried on into my relationship and my family. So that has been an instrumental part in my development, especially until I went to college. Certainly in college, I had role models who were professors and people that mentored me through that process. And I wouldn't just say it's one person. After your mom and that umbilical cord is cut, then you have many people that play a role. Certainly my wife during this process has been instrumental, motivational, and I'm very thankful to her.
Good. All right. The last thing is, why don't you tell everyone a little bit more about the campaign, about what's the dates that you need volunteers? So is it like from now to the end, or?
From yesterday until the end.
Okay, and it's August 26th.
August 26th is the end of the primary. There may be a runoff. If no candidate is able to achieve 50% or more, then you go to a runoff, and the runoff would be November 4th in the general election. And so certainly any time between now and the end of the voting period, it's when we would need volunteers, and we need everything from muscle. So if guys want to help build signs, we still need some sign help, transportation of signs, and we also need things as simple as putting a stamp on an envelope as well.
Okay. All right. Can you give like the address that they can come in?
Sure. The campaign headquarters address is 2815 West New Haven. That's in Melbourne, Florida, 32904. I'm located on the 3rd floor of a building that's between the Target and Home Depot in the Melbourne area. And you can also reach me on my website, Arcadier4Judge.com. And also by phone, you can call anytime, 321-953-5998.
And your email?
Email, the best email to reach me is info @Arcadier4Judge.com, and the 4 is spelled out FOR.
I'll provide that on the YouTube.
Great.
It's easier for them to remember. The last thing, if I really forget, the last thing was, out of this experience, become judge or not, what have you gained over all this? And this is all over.
Well, I never saw myself as a politician. I always was more the thinker, the listener, the person in an office reading, the intellectual type, if you want. And the campaign has really forced me to engage the public, and that's a character trait that I've developed, and I'm very pleased that now I'm able to engage strangers, where before in a room where I don't know anybody. In the past, I used to just keep to myself, stay at my table, and talk with the people that I know. In campaigning, you really need, the goal of the campaign is to meet strangers, to meet people that you've never...
Very
outgoing, and that's exactly the word that I was looking for. It's not... a politician needs to be outgoing, but I'm more of an introvert, and that's what I was looking for. But being an extrovert, it's like being a new person to a certain extent.
That's a good quality to be gaining then.
Yes, I like being an introvert. My nature is to be introverted, but it's good to be able to switch that on as well.
That's good. Okay. I'd like to tell my viewers that I actually feel very honored to interview you.
Thank you.
And that I encourage many people to be part of it, even my own family. Because I believe in you, and I believe that you actually are based on what you say. And I really hope that if you do become judge, you do the best you can, and you choose the best that you can. And I'd like to thank you once again for this interview.
No, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, viewers.